welcome back to my channel. My name is Alex Tinsley, and if you didn't know that before, then you should change that and subscribe to my channel. Today I'm going to be talking about college and tips and tricks that you might want to know if you're an incoming freshman. I'm kind of just going to be doing a college recap of my freshman year because I just finished and I'm going to be a sophomore this coming school year. So if you're interested in hearing what I have to say, or if you want to learn some tips and tricks, then just keep watching. I know by now most people have already chosen a school of where they want to go for college and everything, but if you haven't, I just wanted to say one thing to keep in mind is the area and your surrounding environment. I went to Chico State. I'm not going to be going there next year, so I don't care if that's out in the open. I loved the school. I loved like the campus and everything. I thought it was so beautiful, but there wasn't a lot for me to do outside of school, so I think that's really important to keep in mind because a campus might look really nice, but if you don't have anything to do with your time outside of school, then it can really affect your time there. So I'm gonna say this for all my fellow undecided people out there. I'm undeclared. I don't have a major selected at the moment. I was undeclared my full freshman year, and I just want to say that that's okay. Like, I know that it can probably be really stressful if your friends and everyone has a major and you kind of just feel like you're behind and like you don't know what you're doing. I could not be happier with my decision of just being undeclared. I didn't want to like rush into something that I knew I wasn't gonna like. Your path is going to be different from everybody else's no matter what. So I just say enjoy it. For me, it made me feel like a lot less tied down. Your first 2 years are just for your general education anyways, so you're all good. Okay, so this one is huge. Please do yourself a favor and use Rate My Professor. If you use Rate My Professor, it's basically a website that you can go online and you can type in the professors from the school and it'll just give you like a rating. It will tell you if they're heavy on reading or if they're heavy on writing or if you have to buy the textbook. It kind of just gives like the rating of the overall teacher, what they require you to do, if there's a ton of tests or if there's not. This can be super helpful. If you're looking for math professors or English professors, you can look online and you can see all the ratings and then it might help you choose a little bit better. This was super helpful for me because I spent so much money on books that I never opened or never read because it just wasn't like required, or maybe it was and I just didn't do it, so I could have just saved a lot of money. So, and I just want to put it out there that I know that that website isn't 100% accurate, but it can really help you if you want to give it a try. My cousin James, if you're watching this, shout out to you. He was the one who told me about it and I used it my second semester and it just like helped me get into classes with like good professors. So do not overpack for school. I guess it kind of depends on the person you are. Like, I like to look cute, but like during the school year I really could care less. I basically lived in like sweatpants and a sweatshirt every single day. It's not going to be like high school where you're gonna be judged by literally everything that you wear or like what you look like or your appearance and whatnot. Like, everyone's doing their own thing, no one's really gonna care, so just do you, be comfortable, and yeah. So move-in day is really important, especially if you're living with multiple people. I don't know what every college does, but for us, I believe we moved in like on a Thursday, and then we were supposed to stay from that Thursday until Monday, and that in-between period was like a time where you were supposed to like get to know your roommates and everything, and it was like a welcome week. So unfortunately, I did not know that we were supposed to stay, and since I didn't live super far away, I ended up going down on move-in day, and then after I had moved everything in, I ended up coming back home. This made it a lot harder for me to get to know my roommates right away because they had all already like bonded over those few days, and when I had got there, I was kind of like the odd one out for a bit. I am happy to say that everything ended up working out, but I don't know, some people might not be as lucky with their roommates, and if you don't all get along, then that can be really, really hard. Also, side note, this is so like out of the ordinary and I just thought of it right now, but command strips will save your life. They're so helpful. So if you need to hang things on the walls, use command strips. I'm not doing well. Use command strips. You can't really nail a hammer into the wall. I meant you can't hammer a nail into the wall. I need help. Moving on, your first year is hard for everyone, especially for your first semester, so don't really stress yourself out over it. Everyone is in the same boat and there will be people there to help you. This was also super important for me, and it's not to stress yourself out over the things that won't matter a week from now you know, a month from now, a year from now, those little things can really eat you up inside. I just found it really important to remember that all the things I've ever stressed about in like high school or like about a test or something, like it doesn't really affect me now anymore. So it's not something that I need to worry about. I know that in the moment it can seem like it's really gonna affect you, but it won't in the future. So, you know, your life is still gonna go. Things are still gonna be good. Don't stress yourself over the things that you can't control. So going back to like the roommate situation and everything, try to make time for your roommates. It's important to hang out with them and get to know one another, especially since those are the people you're gonna be around most. I know not everybody gets paired with someone they want to be paired with. People might not like get along, but it's just important to be respectful of one another and their space, and everything should be fine. I've had a pretty hard time with the whole friends thing. I've always found it hard to make friends because I'm pretty antisocial and like I'm not gonna like put myself out there that much. If you can, I would highly recommend trying to like make friends, whether that be a roommate or during welcome week. I made a friend during like my summer orientation who I thought was gonna be in my life for a really long time, and I was very wrong about that. And you didn't click on this video to hear a sob story or anything. So I'm just gonna continue and get to my point. If you can reach out to people, that's awesome. And if you are kind of like me and you're a little bit more like shy, that's totally okay too. I would say your best bet is to make friends with your roommate or roommates. Not everyone you're gonna meet in college is gonna be in your life forever, but there's a good chance that some of them will be. And it's really hard to do college alone, so it's just like nice to have people who can relate to you because you're in college and you're doing the same things and going through the same things, rather than somebody else who's your friend who might not be in college, because then they're not gonna understand. I have this key card holder on the back that holds like my credit card and my IDs and all of that good stuff. This is like a lifesaver for me. You're gonna have like a bunch of different keys that you have to have, whether it's like your laundry card, your ID, you're gonna have your credit card. I could just like, you know, take my cards out like super easy and everything. It was really nice to have. So if you are interested, you can get them on Amazon or pretty much like probably a lot of other places too. So I'm not a huge partier. I didn't really party too much when I was in Chico, but Chico is a huge party school. Everybody else might already know this and I might just be really stupid, but when I went to my first party, I didn't realize that guys were not allowed to go into the party. That made me really frustrated. So whenever you go to like a frat party, they don't usually let guys in unless like they pay money, which is like really stupid. Be aware of that, because if you're a guy or you like have guy friends, like it's just really hard to get into parties, and it sucks because it's like it shouldn't be like that. Also, I saw a bunch of other girls getting turned down because they weren't wearing like the correct outfit for the party, and I know that if it's like a themed party, you should probably be wearing something of that sort, but it was like they told her that she wasn't like pretty enough, and I was just like, really? That made me so mad. Nobody should be told that. Some girls would get turned down because like they were wearing like not like party clothes, you know, like it wasn't, they weren't, you know, like showing enough. Like I don't know if that's helpful. I just thought I would share it. So you're gonna do what you're gonna do at a party, but a lot of unexpected things can go down. There was one time in particular where a couple of people got shot, and it's just like those are not the kinds of things you expect when you go to a party. It's just nice to be aware. So try to make one friend in every single class that you have. This can just be like super helpful, because if you miss a day, then you can like ask them and like text them or whatever if you have someone else there who can like send you the notes or something from a day that you missed. That is really nice. Do your best in every subject, give it your all. Some professors do not put your grades in until like the last day of school, which is really annoying. So if you try your best, that's really the best that you can do. Professors don't really care about you. I mean, they do, and they want you to succeed, but they're not gonna like baby you and tell you everything that you need to do. And if you have an F, they're not gonna be like, you have an F, like you need to get your grade up, like come spend time with me after school. Like that's all up to you. Speaking of trying your best, it can be really hard to give it your all when you're transitioning into this new lifestyle. You are all alone and you're learning a lot of things for the first time. You're learning how to do everything by yourself. It can be really hard when nobody is telling you what to do or when to do it. You're probably gonna be a lot more interested in socializing with everybody because you're kind of like off on your own, but just know that you're like paying a lot of money to be where you are. But also, it's okay if you don't pass all your classes. I mean, that's just like my opinion. Like, if my mom heard me say that, she'd probably be like, what the heck, Alex? Like, but it's just hard. College is hard. Classes are hard. The world still spins and life keeps moving. You need to be mature and think about the consequences to your actions before you do them. It's not like high school anymore where the office is gonna call your mom if you don't show up to your classes. That is really all up to you. Some professors don't take attendance and some professors do take attendance. Sometimes the attendance is a grade and usually it's like 10%, and it might not sound like a lot, but if you don't go like every single day, then that 10% is really gonna take a toll on your grade. If there's extra credit, do it. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Getting low grades matter, and I know that's kind of like a no-brainer, but I kind of had the mindset that like my grades weren't like the most important thing. I was just trying to pass every one of my classes, and I didn't really care like what grade I had in them, but my low grades is what landed me on academic probation. And being on that basically means that they can drop or kick you out of the university at any given time, and that's definitely a very scary thought. But also, like, if you do end up landing on it, it's not something to be like ashamed of or anything. It doesn't take a toll on your success. It just means that you should probably try a little harder, or you might not make it much further. And I get it, it's not that bad. It could be bad, but it's like not that bad. People are just gonna continue to peer pressure you into things that you don't want to do, or maybe you do want to do them, but if you don't want to do them, you don't have to do them. You shouldn't feel bad about not wanting to do something, so just do you. I think that it's important that you stand up for yourself, because when you're at college, no one else is going to do that for you. Deadlines are so important. So of course you're gonna want to turn in all of your work on time and everything so that you don't get like a lower grade or like half credit. But I'm talking about deadlines for classes. So I think you have like a week where you choose a class, or maybe it's 2 weeks, where you're in a class, and if you don't like it, you can drop it and you can switch out and go to a different class. I was not aware of the time period, and I was in a communications class. And I decided to drop out of the class the day after the deadline had, well, deadlined. So basically the only way that you can drop a class after the deadline has like deadlined or whatever is if you have like a legitimate reason of like a sickness or something like that. I got myself into a pretty sticky situation, and the next thing you know, you'll be standing in front of the dean and the board explaining yourself. This doesn't just go for college, but it goes for life in general. Appreciate where you are right now. We're always waiting for like the next best thing. We're always waiting for like Halloween or for Thanksgiving break or for Christmas break, and then after Christmas we're like waiting for spring break, and then after that we're waiting for like the end of the year for summer. Obviously those things are exciting and it's totally okay to be excited for them, but if you're always waiting for like the next best thing to happen, you're never going to be truly happy with where you are right now. The present is just as important as the future. Make sure that you are happy now. Living in the present is the only way to truly and like fully love and appreciate your life. High school for me went by in the blink of an eye, and I know that college is probably going to be the same way. So no matter how hard things are now or how hard they're going to be in the future, just appreciate the little things and appreciate your life and appreciate what you have in this given moment. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Join me next week. No, I'm kidding. But I think I'm gonna end this video on that note. I hope that it was helpful. Feel free to let me know. I hope that some of these tips and tricks you can take into consideration if you're an upcoming freshman, and I wish you the best of luck with freshman year. Maybe you learned a thing or two from my mistakes, so don't be like me. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope that you guys enjoyed it. I hope that you are all having an amazing morning, afternoon, or night, and I hope to see you in my next video. Bye!